Hey guys, Dan with Sterling Self-Defense. We're here today to run another test on the modification I invented for the VKS to get an extra 20 joules, so it gives you like 80 joules. Got a stock VKS, brand new, out of the box. Gonna load it up, shoot it. I got it cranked up all the way, 1/4 inch back. So it's completely stock 850 tank. Alright, using 8 gram joules. I'll load her up, fire, get some numbers so we can test it afterwards, after I do the mod. But it's also, I haven't even opened this up yet. There's no mil-sig O-ring, so there is a chance I could blow it while I'm shooting. But we will see. Now, I want to forget my glasses. All these eyeglasses. All right. Chronographs. That's really low. 278, what's going on there? I cranked it up all the way. Wow, this is way too low. Well, I wonder if maybe a bad spring. Well, I got it cranked in all the way. These aren't going to be good test numbers because that's way too low. It should be close to 60 joules. All right, well, brand new gun. I got to pull it apart. I'm guessing it's probably that velocity spring. All right, well, I was hoping to do it without tearing the gun apart, but I'm gonna have to take it apart just to see why it's doing that, because not even breaking 300, and that's not a VKS. So, all right, let me check that out, see what the problem is, slap it back together, keep it stock, and we'll run the first test again. All right, guys, we are back. Took it apart, brand new, short spring. Changed it out, put the appropriate 33 millimeter spring in, we're good to go. All right, where's my chronograph? Where did I put my chronograph? Ah, there we go, chronograph. All right, brand new stock VKS, cranked all the way up. See what the numbers is, stock 850 tank, 8 gram Grimber joules. Take it off. All right. 364, 368, 354, compressor's on, sorry, 364, and look, I blew the O-ring, hear it hissing? Heat core O-ring, the stock ones, they don't stand up. That's why you gotta put a square O-ring in there. Gotta have the mil-sig. Anything over 30 joules, hear it? Woo, stock O-ring, not happy. Gets changed anyway. All right, gonna pull it apart. Gonna put the mil-sig O-ring in now, definitely. And I'm gonna put my new modified part in there and see what she's shooting, compare the numbers to a stock with an 850 tank. And I'm also going to build this one up. I don't want to do maybe a shorty, folding stock, something. But also going to be running a special this month. We're going to do a free upgrade to carbon fiber tanks. 13 CI, 15 CI, and 17 CI. So that's a big savings as opposed to the 3000 aluminum tanks. All right, guys, so I'll get to work, pull it apart, mod it up, and see what the new numbers are. All right, see you in a little while. All right, guys, we are back. Took it apart, brand new, short spring. Changed it out, put the appropriate 33 millimeter spring in, we're good to go. All right, where's my chronograph? Where did I put my chronograph? Ah, there we go, chronograph. All right, brand new stock VKS, cranked all the way up. See what the numbers is, stock 850 tank, 8 gram Grimber joules. Take it off. All right. 364, 368, 354, compressor's on, sorry. 364. And look, I blew the O-ring. Hear it hissing? Heat core O-ring, the stock ones, they don't stand up. That's why you gotta put a square O-ring in there. Gotta have the mill sink. Anything over 30 joules, hear it? Woo, stock O-ring, not happy. Gets changed anyway. All right, gonna pull it apart. Gonna put the mill sink O-ring in now, definitely. And I'm gonna put my new modified part in there and see what she's shooting, compare the numbers to a stock with an 850 tank. And I'm also gonna build this one up. I don't know what I'm doing, maybe a shorty, folding stock, something. But also gonna be running a special this month. We're gonna do a free upgrade to carbon fiber tanks. 13 CI, 15 CI, and 17 CI. So that's a big savings as opposed to the 3000 aluminum tanks. All right, guys, so I'll get to work, pull it apart, mod it up, and see what the new numbers are. All right, see you in a little while. Hey guys, little bonus video here in the middle of this video. All right, I got the VKS all apart. You can see ASA, regulator. Now, yep, blew the O-ring, the stock O-ring. It's inside of the bolt. I figure while I'm doing this, might as well show you guys what I recommend is taking the firing pin out and red Loctiting it. What happens is these guns were mainly designed for 4-gram rounds. You know, Pepperballs, 4-gram solid rounds. And most of us are using 8 grams or higher. So what that does, it loosens up the firing pin, and if you get a loose firing pin, while the bolt is going back and forth, the firing pin gets loose and gets caught on the bolt and snaps it right off. Oh, see, there's the O-ring just fell out. That's the O-ring I blew out during the last test. Put in my little O-ring bag. You can see how many O-rings I've changed. It's got to be about, I've been saving them for about, I don't know, 9 months. Got to be about 300 of them in there. So, stock O-rings. Really, haven't found a use for them yet, but I got tons of them. So, anyway, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Best bet is if you have a little vise. Definitely a good thing to have. If not, you're going to use the air chamber as a jig to put it back in. But you're going to need to put a wrench on the front of this and loosen up the cap, which I've already done. Or stick it in a vise and loosen it that way. Same thing with this. The pin, you want to stick it in a vise and hold it so you don't scratch it up. And take the firing pin out. I've already loosened it a little bit. Let me just find my screwdriver here and take it the rest of the way out. Alright, so I'm taking the firing pin out. Alright. Alright, there's the firing pin. Now the screw is still in the bolt, so to get that out, little Allen key in there. It's a 1/16 Allen key. That's moving. It's really in there. It's a long screw. Make sure she's moving in there. Oh. Allen key's a little stripped up here. I'm trying to get a good bite on it. Oh, got to put this sucker in the vise. It's in there real tight. Nice to have a good little vise with pads on it. I got them all over the shop. I use them constantly. Oh, and that sucker's in there. Which is good. Unless you want to take it out. Which I do. Alright, that one's pretty solid in there. So I'm going to leave it in there because it's in there so well, it just stripped out my Allen key. So that's a good thing. You want to make sure it's in there enough, though. Alright, it's in there good. Should be a couple millimeters down into the bolt. Then you know you're okay. Alright, get this set up. Where's my 3/16 Allen key? Take your back cap off. We're going to use this as a jig. Some people sell a little 3D printed jig. All it is what you got. This. So you don't need to buy a jig. That's just silly. So one of the good things to have is one of these expanding screwdrivers. It holds on to a slotted screw. You know, expands as you slide this forward. It makes it tighter and holds it. Really handy, makes it a lot easier. Okay, and you want to use your Loctite 221. That's the permanent. You know, you try to take this off, it ain't gonna happen. Unless you heat it. If you gotta take it off, you still can. It's technically not permanent, but you have to heat it up to break the seal. But if you don't heat it, you ain't getting it off. All right, get my glasses on. Get a little drop down in there. Now, if you're able to get your little grub screw out, the little screw that connects the firing pin, make sure you do red Loctite both sides of it, going in the firing bolt and going into the bolt. I'm going to drip a little Loctite down the front of the bolt and then tighten it into it. But it's in there good and tight, so there's no sense in messing with it. Alright, got our permanent Loctite in there. Yeah. Got my expanding screwdriver. And it helps if it expands long enough. Well, I just got this expanding screwdriver and it's not big enough. It's a real big slot on this one. So if you get an expanded screwdriver, make sure you get one that's thicker, a real thick one. Mine unfortunately isn't going to work, so you have to do it with a regular screwdriver. So I'm using this as a jig. Just slide it right in there. Line it up. It's so much better if you got that locking screwdriver, but one I ordered isn't big enough. And just screw it in there. Now, another thing I really recommend getting to is a barrel swab. They work for so many good things. Any little Loctite in there, boom, get it out. Any excess. Now, my pin is hand tight. I'm going to put it in the vise now. Put the bolt into the vise. Stick you over here. My table's got a built-in vise. Super handy. It's a great work table. If anyone's looking for a work table, Harbor Freight, their wooden pine table. It's great, and it's a wooden vise, so it doesn't scratch everything up. You can put a gun in it, tighten it down, you won't get all kinds of scratches on it. Awesome. I think it's like a couple $100, maybe a little more. Got 4 drawers on it, storage on the bottom. It is great. All right, now. Yeah, get crazy tight because you got Loctite on it now. So once it hardens, it's going to be super strong. All right. So snug that up. Make sure you ain't got any excess Loctite laying all over the place. And I'm going to put a little drop right in the top. You know what? I'm not going to do a little drop in the top. I'm going to forego that. That was real tight. I wouldn't because if you put it in there, it's going to gum up your Allen set hole. So forget I talked about that. I haven't done that before, but I just thought about it now. Usually I'm able to get that screw out, but it was in there so tight, I don't have to worry about it. All right, put your cap back on. You can get crazy tight on this. This bottom cap has an O-ring, so it doesn't need to be crazy tight. The threads don't hold back air. It is the little O-ring. You don't want to over tighten it because you'll destroy the O-ring. Hand tight is good enough on those. And of course, be careful with your air chamber O-rings. You scratch those up, you're going to get a leak. All right, so now I just got to put a new O-ring in there. Mil-sig to replace the one I blew out. I get my glasses on because I'm blind. Work your O-ring around, get one side in, and go to the other side. A little pick on Amazon. They got these little dental picks. They work great. You want to get one with a one flat end. Easier for working the O-ring around. I usually do these in about a second, but every once in a while you get one that's just a pain in the ass and don't want to go. Don't know why that is, but sometimes it just happens. I usually make it look easy, and now this one's giving me a problem. It's always the way. Get in there, you little sucker. And make sure you don't twist it. When you're done, check it. Make sure it's, even all the way around and not twisted. I remember, one of those guys you always see on YouTube. He popped up about a year ago. I remember when he did his first O-ring. He posted a picture. Hey guys, got my first Mil-sig O-ring done. And he holds it up to the camera and shows it. I got a picture. I saved the post. It's kind of funny. Maybe I'll put it up. But he's like, look guys, my first O-ring. It's all twisted all the way around. Oh, it's hilarious. They had no idea. And was bragging about it. Now, Ultra Silk, best shit in the world. Stuff lasts a really long time. I work on literally hundreds of guns a year. This one, I've had about a year. I'm almost done with it. But I work on hundreds of guns. You get one of these, you're working on a couple guns, you're going to have for the rest of your life. The stuff just lasts such a long time. It goes so far. Now, it's like 17 bucks for the little canister, and it sounds expensive, but it lasts. And the stuff don't come off. Once you put it on, it's not like you got to go every couple months and put it back on. And guys, watch out for oil. I've been saying this a lot lately. I've been getting guns back, servicing them from guys, and they're just drenched in oil, dripping out of it. That's going to wet your O-rings, and you're going to be blowing out O-rings like crazy. You don't need any kind of oil in there. You want more like creams. Oiled, what happens is it blows through the system. Some guys oil up their mags, a little drop. I know Mac Josie always told you that. Little tiny bit, once a year maybe. But if you keep putting oil in there, it blows it right through the whole system. It gets all through the rag. It gets everywhere. It's a freaking disaster and a mess. And just causes a number of problems when you're over-lubing your guns. Nice and tight. There we go. So we want it. All right. So that part's done. So now I get the red Loctite on it, so I got to let it sit, let it dry for a while. A lot of guys say 24 hours. I don't do that long. It hardens pretty quickly, 6 hours, 8 hours. You can leave it overnight too. I'm just impatient, so. But it hardens pretty quick, believe me. I put stuff together with red Loctite, and an hour later been like, oh shit, I want to do it a different way, like airlines. And go to take it apart, and that stuff is solid as a rock, and it's not coming apart. And I gotta heat it, so it doesn't take that long. So, all right, so do the rag and all in the other stuff next, and I'll come back to the test and change out the part. And we'll see what the second set of numbers do. But I figured might as well get a little red Loctite video in there, because a lot of guys have been having problems. Loose bolts, breaking bolts. You know, it happens a lot. The guy stopped by the shop the other day, went to fire his sidearm after doing the VKS. First shot, boom, bolt, gone, cracked it, snapped it right there. You know, it's lucky for him he was in the shop at the time, and I had an extra VKS bolt. So we changed it out, well, good to go. All right, guys, I'll be back with the next part of that video once all this is dried up and put back together. All right. All right, guys, I am back. Gun is all put together, built up, Loctited. Now we got a UTG red dot here. Red, green, got its own reticle. 15 CI carbon fiber first strike tank. The dual 10-round mags with the coupler. First strike, 10-inch handguard. Full-length barrel on this one. Then we got the new Olight foregrip. This thing's awesome, super comfortable, super bright, real easy to activate. All right, that's it. It's looking pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna get those test numbers. See what we got now. Now that the modifications are done. All right, get my glasses on. And charge her up, see what we got. It's the first test. All right, first shot. Safety off. .436. .434. .416. .430. .422. .434. .436. And .428. All right, so I don't remember the numbers on the last one, but I'm sure that's a big jump, as it always is. I'll put the numbers up so you have them on the screen. I just don't remember offhand. But that's what my new VKS modification. That part modified brings it up, usually around 20 joules. So that's it. This new build will be posted soon. I got to price everything up, all the parts. But I'm going to make one of this one. So this is a good size length, not a shorty by any means, but you get the good power, full barrel, and good build, and free upgrade on the tank. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one. Oh, hey guys, forgot to mention a couple things. One thing I like about this build, this UTG red dot with the riser, gives you a good co-witness. So you can also use your iron sights co-witnessing right through your red dot, which is nice. Battery dies or whatever, you can still use your iron sights. Plus you can set them for different things. Also UTG overmolded grip, super comfortable with the compartment underneath. This is my favorite grip by far. It is so comfortable on your hand. It's got the beaver tail on the back. Super comfortable, so much better than the stock one. Not a fan of the stock VKS grip, just plastic, not comfortable at all. This one just real nice, super comfortable. Definitely my favorite of all the grips I've used, and I've used many. The overmolded UTG grip is just awesome. And loving this new Olight. This thing is great. I just got to put a laser on this, and then we're a separate laser, because I like the Olight by itself. Great, man. Foregrip, super comfortable, easy activation, no running wires over. I like it. All right, that's it. Till the next time.